Okay, so more bad news, this time about Delarrin Turner-Yell. We got to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kin folks? It's RJ Young. I'm not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, got to talk about the latest hit that just keep on coming. Delarrin Turner-Yell, a.k.a. Trouble, is reportedly out with a shoulder injury. It's going to keep him out of this thing called the Peach Bowl. Yo. All right. So to recount, let's go through this. 3 players suspended. Universally thought Ramondre Stevenson, Trajan Bridges, and of course, Ronnie Perkins. So that's 2 contributors. 1 is your best pass rusher. And now, Delarrin Turner-Yell, who is your starting strong safety. All right. Good times all around. And then today, had parent Jackie Bridges pouring his heart out about how he feels about his family and his kiddo. And I feel for him. My heart breaks for him. We all make mistakes. I hope everybody will take it easy on all 3 of these kids. I understand that the news sucks. And I understand that you personally feel some kind of way about this because this team has your entire heart. For many of you, it has your money. It has your season tickets. It has your pride. It has your birthright. I tell people all the time, Oklahoma is our birthright in many cases. Dr. George Lane Cross thought one of the ways to raise this state out of its depression, quite literally emotionally and financially, during the Dust Bowl, was to give it a football team it could be proud of. And he hired someone else's head coach so they could get the assistant that would ultimately become Bud Wilkinson. And he created the monster that we know as OU football. And we've come to adore it. And it has brought us so much joy. And many of you believe that these children, these players are your extended family. For many of you, Lincoln Riley is your son or even your grandson as far as you can see it. And this thing called the internet has brought us so much closer together. And that's one of the reasons that news spread so fast, right? Because my buddy Brandon and I were talking about this very thing earlier in the day, how to break it, who to talk to about it, yada, yada, yada. And we take great pride in our work, and we take great pride in what we choose to share and not share. And this is just another one of these things that puts Oklahoma even further behind the proverbial 8 ball as they face the number 1 team in the country in LSU, the Heisman winner, the Biletnikoff Award winner, the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner, and the Joe Moore Award-winning offensive line. The more you stacked it up when the teams were, both fully healthy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire aside, still 14-point favorite to LSU, and that number seems like it's only going to get bigger with the attrition that is happening to Oklahoma at one of the most untimely, times for it to happen, man. And I think I speak for everybody who's just so very disappointed, but at the same time, hey, I'm reading a lot. When I have time, when I'm not working on this show, when I'm not working on the RJ Young show on the Sports Animal, when I'm not writing for Insider, when I am not driving my own family crazy with how much I'm working, I read, and I read widely. Running joke at my work is, RJ has subscriptions to the New Yorker, the Atlantic, Washington Post, New York Times, all of these things. And I've fallen into a couple of books, mostly Dead Things, which I'm getting through, and a couple of books that I'm going back and forth on with Muhammad Ali. And one of the stories that comes to mind is what's forgotten about his beating Sonny Liston. He was a 7-1 underdog, right? We knew he was underdog, but 7-1 is big odds. And he believed he was going to win. His attitude was, I'm going to win. I'm going to shock the world. Many of you know the story, but the point that I'm making is Angelo Dundee, his trainer, believed he could do it too. And that has always stuck with me, that Angelo believed he could do it. His corner man wasn't going to fight. He was just going to take care of him. He was his coach. He was his manager. He was his trainer. He was the man that saw him put in the work. And one of the stories that sticks out to me about Angelo Dundee when he got to know Cassius Clay, who would become Muhammad Ali, who was the lip before he was anything else, before he was the greatest, because he talked so much. But many of you would know that Muhammad Ali had a stutter, and he wanted to fight, most because people would make fun of him. And Angelo remembered how bad he wanted it. He wanted it so bad that when he could not get a ride to the gym and live 5 miles away, he would run across the causeway. He would run across the causeway to get to the gym. Angelo would say he would run to fight. He would run to the fight. He would run to the fight. He wanted to be there. He wanted it in the worst way. I made this upload earlier in the day about Bill Belichick and Nick Saban that nobody's going to watch because, well, anyway. I made it because I was so struck by how much I enjoyed it, and I wanted to share my thoughts about it. And the thing that I take away, one, is that Bill Belichick looks up to Nick Saban. And two, Nick Saban is looked up to because he taught Bill something that he holds dear, which is how bad you got to want something to not just get there, but to maintain it. That it has to be the only thing driving you. It has to be the only goal in your mind. It has to be your single focus to the point to where you tell your family that they're second in some respects, that you miss some landmark events, that you're on the road or that you're in the film room, that you are making sure that everybody's doing everything perfect all the time. What are you willing to give up is the question. And Saban would put this to his players at all times. I know what you want. We all know what you want. We all want things. What are you willing to give up to get them? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to drive to Oklahoma City to meet with one of your better friends, to pick up a pin so that you can wear it next week at a function? Know this news is coming. Drive home from Oklahoma City, walk through your door, and immediately start making an assessment because it's in your head and you knew what you were going to do. Knowing that you want to be somewhere else, you want to be with your family, you want to be wrapping presents, you want to be preparing for Christmas, knowing that you're only going to get half of a Christmas this year. You're going to be working. I think these players want it. I know it doesn't feel that way sometimes, especially with the news of the suspensions. And as much as I talk noise about Delarrin Turner-Yell and his liability and pass coverage, that kid wanted it. He wants it so bad. I mean, you know from watching him, he lives to hit people. He's one of the hardest hitters on this team. And he hustles. He is effort. He's made so many plays this year. And when he played well, the entire defense played well. He was the catalyst. He was the most important part of this defense for me. When that dude played well, everything else fell into place. When he came downhill and made tackles. And now somebody else is going to have to do that. I don't like the phrase next man up because I think it makes small the sacrifices of an individual like Delarrin Turner-Yell, who is likely lost for this game and any game after it. It makes small the efforts of 85 scholarship young men and a number of walk-ons. But it also leads us to the understanding that there's somebody who has wanted it as badly as Delarrin Turner-Yell. That there is a Jamal Morris, that there's a Jeremiah Cradell, that there's a Chance Sylvie, that there's a player that's wearing Oklahoma across his chest that wants to pick up his brother, wants to pick up his brothers, wants to pick you up. I think one of the things that gets lost about this game is this is what these boys live for. You know, you come to Oklahoma, but you also go to Buffalo. You also go to Utah State. You go to Kent State. Because this is who you are. This is what you love. You are a football man. You are a football person. You're a football guy, as they like to say. And this is it. You don't have another guarantee after this one. This is the one you get to play for. This is your replacement games. This is Shane Falco in the huddle telling the boys, chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever. We're not supposed to say, I do it for the glory. We're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to make it about us. We're not supposed to make it about ego. But I tell you, to go and hit another moving truck is definitely an individual sacrifice. I have Molin Labe on my forearms. I have Invictus on my forearms. I have Aristea on my forearms. Zephos, Dory. Adinkra symbols that mean service and leadership and hardiness, wisdom. I do this with my whole heart because I want to be the best at it. And I want to serve this community that has anointed me in many respects. And I believe that about these boys that I've come to know a few of. Some of them I've come to love. And I understand right now at this moment, it doesn't feel like they got a shot. It doesn't feel like they stand a chance. But they will suit up. Their coaches will have them ready to play. And I trust them to leave everything they have on that field in Atlanta. I trust them to understand the gravity of what they have in their control, and what happens outside their control does not reflect their effort, does not reflect their heart. My heart is broken for Delarrin Turner-Yell. My heart is broken for the boys that are suspended and their families, but I believe in them, just as I'm sure everyone else believes in LSU. And at the end of this, I hope we'll hug each other. I hope we'll tell each other, not just good game, but I'm proud. Proud of you boys.